Hi, and welcome to my review of the Samsung Galaxy Note. My name is Ashwin, and it's not exactly going to be a review, it's just going to be my thoughts about this phone. I generally do like using large phones, so it's going to be more from the point of view of someone who actually likes using large phones. I've been using large phones. Say for example, I've been using the iPhone for quite a bit, and then moved on to a 3.7-inch Desire, and then a 4.3-inch Desire HD, which coincidentally is the phone I'm recording this video on. And now I've moved on to the Galaxy Note 5.3 inches. So what I like to say is this phone is practically it's practically impossible to use the phone with one hand. Theoretically yes, but end of the day, when you use it with a single hand, you're not going to be able to hit places. Say for example, it is a pain for me to hit the keypad on top over there, and the phone slips from my hand. There is a good chance of it slipping. I could, however, do it, but it is quite difficult, to be honest. So I need to shift my fingers below, and the phone, I don't have a good grip on the phone when I do that, and I have a fear that I'm going to drop the phone when I do this. And to be honest, I do have big hands. I don't have small little girly hands, so I'm just letting you know, if you're gonna buy this phone, be prepared to use it with both hands, because Samsung has not intended doesn't intend you to use this with a single hand. It's not really that easy. So a lot of reviews about this phone are positive. Most reviews are positive, and it's basically reviewed by people who've got a demonstration piece, and they use it for a couple of hours and they give you their thoughts. So I've been using this phone for over 2 weeks now, and I just want to give you some negatives about this phone that people generally miss when they're using it for a few hours. So I'm going to start with some negatives, but before I do that, let me assure you that this phone is worth the money you pay for it. It's an amazing piece of hardware, and it's extremely smooth, and the 1.4 gigahertz dual core processor shows every time you run a program and run an app, a game. It's extremely smooth. I cannot say it enough. And the 1 GB RAM is awesome. But then again, it has a few flaws, and that is what I'm going to start this review with. First off, it's supposed to have a Gorilla Glass screen, and there are disagreements about it online. The Corning site does not list this under devices, and we do not know whether it's because they've not updated their list, or is it because Samsung Galaxy Note does not come with a Gorilla Glass. But end of the day, the glass does get scratched. I'm not going to be able to show that on this video, but when the screen is off and when you tilt it at the right angle and you have the light reflecting off it, let me see if I can show you that. No, I don't think I'm going to be able to show it on this video. Okay, if you can see right there next to the light, there is a small scratch. Don't worry if you're not able to see it properly over here. I will, however, add a link below. Yeah, you can see the scratch right now. Do you see that? Yes. And there is a scratch below as well, but that's not that prominent for me to be able to show on this video. Okay, there it is, right below the light. There is a scratch. Okay. In case you were not able to see the scratches, don't worry about it. I have added a link right below at the description to XDA developers, where I have uploaded screenshots of these scratches. And to tell you a little bit about myself, I am very careful with my phones. Excuse me. Smoking is injurious to health. Anyway, I'm extremely careful with my phones. I don't drop my phones. I always use a screen protector with them. And all the phones I've used, by the time I've sold them, they've had 0 scratches on them, because I've always used them with screen protectors. But the Galaxy Note has just been released in India, where I'm from, and we don't have screen protectors in stock just yet. So I have placed an order on Amazon for it, and international shipping takes its time. So for 2 weeks I've been using this phone without a screen guard, and in that time I've not really, okay, that's my dog, pardon him. In that time I've not really used the stylus much. I've probably used the stylus for an hour in total in the last 2 weeks, and within that time these many scratches have come up on screen. There are about 3 or 4 of them, and I've got pictures of them at the link below. So what I suggest is, if you are buying this device, make sure you get a scratch guard along with it, a screen protector. And again, the device is pretty easily scratchable. The sides, if you can see, there are scratches at the bottom. I don't know, I think you'll be able to see this. Yeah. And again, let me reiterate, I've never put this phone in a pocket with anything. If I'm stuffing it down my jeans pockets, I make sure that I do not have any change or my keys in that side of the pocket. This is something I've been doing for years. I've never put it in with anything. I don't put it in my backpack. I don't put my phone anywhere else. Okay, now on to the flip case that comes free with a lot of these Galaxy Notes. The quality is extremely bad. The second day that I started using this, the Rexin or the whatever material it is started to come off. Right now I've super glued it back into place. The edges, they keep coming off at the edges, so all of the edges are super glued back in. I know that's pretty pathetic, but replacements for the accessories don't come easy here in India, so I need to do with whatever I have with me right now till I get the scratch card. Okay, so another negative that I have, another gripe that I have with this phone, it's not basically for the Galaxy Note, it's more about Samsung TouchWiz UI. I've moved in from an HTC Desire HD, and I'm used to the Sense UI, and what I have a problem with here is the contacts. Once you import the contacts from Google and Facebook with this phone, for a lot of contacts you need to actually go into the contacts and then select join contacts from here, the join contacts. Let me just focus on it for a bit. Okay, click on join contacts and then select the contacts from a list. But with the Desire HD, with the Sense UI, most of the joining, most of the relevant contacts are joined automatically, or you get them merged automatically. That's the word HTC uses. Or when you pull down the menu, you get a list saying 72 contacts matched, and you just click on it and you just need to tap the contacts once and they're all merged. But that is a problem with the Samsung. And there's another thing, at times when I'm trying to message somebody, I wouldn't be able to find their name on the list, and I've got to go back to the contacts, open up the contacts, and then pull their name up from there. I'm pretty new to TouchWiz, so it might be something that I'm missing over here, but I'm not sure. Say for example, let me open up messaging. Okay, this is Go SMS Pro. Okay, you know what, let me just come back to the stock messenger. Okay, this is the stock messenger, that the messaging app that comes with Samsung Galaxy, and I'm just gonna try to message somebody I know. Okay, I am going to find somebody called Ashok. Okay, I'm sorry, his name actually pops up right now, but it didn't a few times, and I'm not sure if it's something that I missed, or I'm not sure. So let's give TouchWiz the benefit of the doubt. Let's forget about that totally. So moving on, the TouchWiz UI is pretty smooth, it's fluid, the 1.4 GHz definitely shows over here, and if you're comparing the Note with any HTC devices, I love HTC to the core. When it comes to the Sense UI, I'm a big fan, but the display, the Super AMOLED display, kicks ass, to be honest. It is above and beyond. It's better than any HTC display that I've seen till date, and it's including the IPS displays that I've seen on the Nook. The blacks that you see with this with the Super AMOLED screen are amazing. The contrast ratio that you get, the vivid colors, it's just amazing. You need to use a phone before you can feel it, but it's really great, really great. So again, what else? Any other gripes that I have? That's pretty much the negatives that you have with this phone. Again, yeah, one more thing that I missed is the battery life. When you check it out online, most of the sites that review this phone say that, you know, with the 2500 mAh battery, it's par for the course, the battery life is pretty good and all that. But end of the day, I don't feel that way. I've used the phone for 2 weeks, and as of now, if you can see, the phone has been discharging from 100 since 7 hours, and it's at 27% right now. And yes, that you might attribute it to the phone being new to me, and I've been playing around with it a lot, and I definitely have been using Wi-Fi a lot, and that might be a reason. But when I've done the same thing with my Desire HT, I did get a lot of higher battery life with that. So again, I'll take another few weeks off and probably put up an update saying how the battery life is once I get used to the phone and I start using it a little lesser, a bit more normal. But as of now, my first impression after 2 weeks is that the battery life is not really good. Okay, so as you know, this phone runs Gingerbread 2.3, and the phone is pretty fast, and any games you run on it are amazing. The graphics are pretty good, and the frame rate is good. The phone renders them fast enough. One problem that I have with this phone is that it uses Samsung's Exynos chipset, Exynos processor, and a lot of Gameloft games. If you have used an Android device before, you know what Gameloft is. They are one of the most popular companies that provide games. A lot of Gameloft games are not compatible with this device, and the biggest problem here is that you need to actually download 200-300 MB of data before you actually find out that the device is not compatible. But at the end of the day, it is a fair trade-off because the phone is amazing, and it still has a lot of games. As you can see, I have about 45 games over here, and they're as close to perfect as they can be. Let me just show you an example of the graphical power of this phone. What do I run? Let me run Shine Runner. Okay, so pop it up on portrait mode. And just to let you know, the second part of my review, I'm going to be giving you more info on what kind of customizations you can do with this phone, what kind of tips or tricks that you actually don't know if you're new to TouchWiz or Android, and the kind of stuff that you can do with the phone to at least party tricks that you can wow people with. So I click on play game over here. Okay, what do I do now? Yeah, see, this is how the graphics are. Okay, I'm sorry, this is touch based, I guess. Yes, not the gyroscope based. Okay, I'm playing it with one hand and I'm terrible. I am. So, but then again, you can see the reflections and all that, and it's sweet. It's really amazing. Anyway, coming back. TouchWiz Launcher is the one I'm making this tutorial on. Review on. Samsung has included a task manager, which HTC lacks, at least in Sense 2.1, and you can kill all the apps, and you can also take a quick look at the RAM, and you can clear the RAM, get it down to a more manageable amount. The 1 GB RAM really counts, and this phone puts it to use. Definitely puts it to use. So that's the Nexus. That's the ice cream sandwich wallpaper. And another good thing that I see with this phone is that you can just pull down the menu and you get access to Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS, silent mode, and the lock and a lock for the automatic rotation. So those are all pretty good, and you can also access your data connectivity by holding the power button, and you get a data network mode. You can just turn it off or put on the flight mode and so on. And another thing I forgot to mention is that I've been using this phone on a 2G network. I do not have a 3G connection, so whatever battery life I'm getting is on the 2G network and not on the 3G. So yeah, that is something for you to be a little bit worried about. So overall, the phone is pretty good. It's big, it's huge, and it's amazing. Definitely not a replacement for a tablet, but a very good replacement for a phone, and the browser and everything is very good. And I will get to more in-depth details on the apps that come included with Samsung by default, and also the modifications that you can do on it. So the next part of my tutorial is going to be about the default apps that come with Samsung. So till then, thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Bye bye.